Thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock. A program in Aurora is trying to keep young people alive by connecting them with resources before they resort to violence.
1 year in, the strategy has already identified more than 100 youth at risk who need help. Our Kelly Rinke looks at their progress so far. Hey, Kelly.
Kim and Tom, since last year, APD has been identifying groups of young people that are connected to gun crimes. They focus on an age group between 25 and 13 years old. The goal is to reduce gun violence by connecting young people to resources in the community.
We had a lot of tragedy in this community.
Scenes like this became more common, and Aurora police noticed that people involved in shootings kept getting younger.
We have seen, not only here locally, but throughout the country, a significant decrease in the age of individuals that are handling guns, that are engaged in gun crime.
Captain Mike Hannafin with APD began working with community partners a year ago to find kids most at risk of resorting to gun violence and to connect them with resources. The goal is to intervene before another shooting. This program called Aurora SAVE started a year ago, and the need is clear.
We have selected 107 recipients for custom notifications, and the average age is 17.
107 young people who need help. That's where Lisa Baden and Courtney Lang come in.
So maybe a youth needs a job placement or development organization, or maybe they need counseling to process the trauma that they've dealt with.
Community partners are working together to achieve the same goal: keep kids alive.
A big part of the push that we're working on right now is getting everybody in the same room. A lot of the times these different organizations know that same kid, so how are we going to serve that kid in a way that makes the most sense?
These tragedies can't be ignored, and Aurora is paying attention.
While we may not accept or like their behavior, we still recognize that they're a valuable part of the community, and really just giving that message: we want you to be safe, alive, and free.
So these custom notifications are messages to provide young people access to services like housing, education, peer support groups. The city's success rate of connecting with people relatively high, around 80%, Kim.
I think this just proves that so often we can do something if we reach out and take the time.
Yeah, and really their goal here, they're going door to door connecting with families. And a lot of the times when they connect with these kids, they end up connecting with other kids or other people within the family that say, hey, can I be a part of this program?
Yeah, isn't that great? I mean, because we all live with those connections in our lives.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Thanks, Kelly.
Less than a week away from October, there's a giant bug that is celebrating the transition from September to October.
That's a Halloween, a pre-Halloween costume.
He just missed his cue. He should have been in the middle of the camera. Now he's fully walked away. So anyway, we're on our way to October, but we're up in the mid-80s right now. And if you like today, well, there's more of that coming tomorrow when we could actually break a record.
Lauren, I'm still trying to figure out what that bug was.
Hey, it's nature. That camera,
a spider?
That camera's right out there in the middle of nature. There's going to be livestock, I guess that counts.
Livestock.
That's it, livestock.
Living things.
Like a heifer. Yeah.
It looked that big on the camera.
Yeah. Well, no doubt that bug was trying to find a cool place to land, because we're going to see very warm, dry, sunny conditions just kind of sit over Colorado over the next several days. We're seeing that now on our live radar, so not a whole lot to look at. It doesn't even look like this thing is on, but it is. We just have very sunny skies out there. Temperatures right now in the middle to upper 80s. I think that's what we're going to see for our afternoon highs. We get maybe a few degrees warmer today. 86 degrees right now at DIA. Most of the Front Range and Eastern Plains in the middle to upper 80s, though. Even off to the west in the high country, we're seeing those temperatures in the 70s and 80s. So pretty warm all across Colorado. But coming up in my full 7-day forecast, we're going to talk more about this sunny, warm stretch of weather ahead. We do have a couple of days where we could meet or break our existing record high. And yes, we're going to talk more about those fall colors that everyone loves to see. I'll have all of that for you just ahead.
New at 4 o'clock in Washington, the House of Representatives did pass that 3-month spending bill to avoid a government shutdown before the election. That's the bill that keeps the government open until December 20th. It'll also provide more than $230 million in extra funding for the Secret Service for their operations related to the upcoming election. Now that bill goes to the Senate, where it's expected to get approval before heading to President Biden's desk. Right now, Hurricane Helene cruising north through the Gulf of Mexico after making landfall over the Yucatan Peninsula. And this is what it looked like there in Mexico today. A Category 1 hurricane, but it is still gaining strength. Taking a live look at the storm track, by the time the storm makes landfall in Florida, expected to be tomorrow night, it could be a Category 3, bringing with it life-threatening storm surge, winds, and flooding. Florida, of course, getting ready again. Emergency evacuations getting underway for many today.
Hurricane Helene is expected to hit Florida's Big Bend late tomorrow, bringing in heavy rain, potential flooding. NBC's Jay Gray gives us a look at the preparations in Tampa.
Hey, good evening. I want to give you an idea of what's going on right now as Florida rushes to get ready for Helene. And take a look behind me, preparing sandbags here in two ways. They are manually filling sandbags and getting those ready for people who will need them to block what is sure to be a lot of water coming in with what is going to be a massive storm here. And then across the way, they are also putting together sandbags using a unit that pushes the sand into those bags and tying them off there. This is a giant storm. It is intensifying in the Gulf and going to cause serious problems. The governor of the state warning even outside of the path.
This is a really big storm. You're going to see impacts up to 250 miles outside the center of the storm. So you're going to see the more violent side of the storm. It's going to whip up surge, produce high winds that are going to impact the Florida peninsula from Tampa Bay all the way across to the Atlantic coast of Florida.
Yeah, so there are watches, there are warnings across the entire Florida peninsula right now. Again, Helene moving into the Gulf, expected to intensify rapidly. Could be a major hurricane by landfall Thursday evening, and a lot of people obviously paying close attention to that. There are a lot of areas that have already had evacuation orders placed into effect, and the time to prepare will quickly run out. This is a fast-moving storm. That's the latest from here in Tampa. I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
A lot of folks heading out of town right now. In fact, traffic is really bananas out there in Tampa. Coming up later this hour, our weather impact team will explain how much more the remnants of the hurricane will impact weather here in Colorado, and the forecast that the Buffs will face in Florida for the game against UCF this weekend. And then take a look at this. This is hurricane hunters flying through the eye of the storm. Always cool to see inside a hurricane. Thankfully, they're trained professionals. I no desire to ever see this, but to see it, the images as it grows or something.
Smart, though, to go with the trained professionals.
That's it, because
Good call.
That's why they're hurricane hunters, okay? They're specialized. Because of the incoming hurricane, NASA is also pushing back the launch of the Crew 9 mission. This is that launch carrying 2 empty seats to the 2 stranded astronauts currently on the ISS. SpaceX is now targeting Saturday afternoon for a launch.
CDOT is set to begin rock scaling and blasting operations near Idaho Springs early next month. It's the latest phase in the I-70 Floyd Hill project. That's the project that first broke ground in July of last year, but CDOT's mostly been working in the east segment of the project, which in total runs 8 miles across the highway. But soon they'll start to blast loose rock in the west and central sections between US 6 and Idaho Springs, and that will bring traffic impacts. Of course, after that deadly crash in Mesa County last month, CDOT is reminding drivers, urging them to be vigilant when they drive through construction zones.
CDOT just recently lost 2 maintainers in September, so really trying to emphasize the importance of driving safely through work zones. So adhere to the speed limit, drop the distractions, and make sure you're being aware of some of the new traffic shifts in the corridor.
CDOT is warning of 20-minute traffic holds Monday through Thursday between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And those could result in delays of up to 45 minutes. So you want to plan ahead. Try to get the information before you leave if you're going to be driving through that area.